At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. I didn't know there was any other kind. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd, but the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. And this next sentence, this is a quote. I'm writing this down. I've been doing this for years. This is serious shit, Linda. But you're never going to hear about this.
Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord power unto the land of Israel, an end. The end is come upon the 4 corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I'll recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord power, an evil, and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come, the end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 1 to 6. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. It's the brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and I found a very interesting article here. All right, another article highlighting the end times that we're in. Okay, as we just read, the end has come, and it's synonymous with an evil. Right, an evil time, evil meaning a bad time, right? This article here states, senior Pentagon official announces plans to invest in autonomous killer robots. Okay? And I remember years ago, we used to go into this, how eventually Esau is going to come up with the concept of autonomous weapons. Okay? And I remember back in 2011, that's when they started creating this, I believe it was DARPA, that was working on these robots and so on and so forth. Okay, that was back in 2011. That's at least when they started to show it to the masses. Okay, and now they're coming out right and telling you that they're going to be investing in autonomous killer robots. Okay, now when you go into that word autonomous, it means that it runs on its own. The word auto. All right, autonomous means it does its own thing whenever it wants. Kind of like the Hapsora killer drone or killer device, AI device that the Israelis, the Zionists are using against the people of Palestine. All right, similar technology. Okay, but in this case, it's going to be more of like they're building up their robot army / robot military. All right, it makes you question, why are they doing all this? Because they're about to do away with the people, okay, who are in the military and come up with this new advanced warfare technology, okay? And the battlefield is going to be here in American soil, and the enemy is going to be the American people. It says, in a striking revelation that has sent ripples through defense circles and beyond, a senior Pentagon official recently disclosed a bold shift in the U.S. Department of Defense's priorities, moving away from vague investments in, quote, artificial intelligence, unquote, and instead pouring resources into the development of quote unquote autonomous killer robots. This statement, reported by Futurism on February 23, 2025, underscores a pivot from research-heavy funding models to the rapid acquisition of tangible, lethal AI-powered weaponry, a move that has ignited both intrigue and alarm. Speaking anonymously to Defense One, the official clarified the Pentagon's new direction, stating, "We are not going to be investing in artificial intelligence because I don't know what that means. We're going to invest in autonomous killer robots." That he knows what that means, right? This blunt admission, also highlighted by Yahoo News in its coverage of the same interview, signals a departure from the DoD's previous hesitancy to embrace lethal autonomous weapons fully. Okay? The official emphasized that the current administration prioritizes weapon systems and business systems over nebulous technologies, a stance that aligns with a broader push to streamline military acquisitions. So that very sentence right there highlights a whole lot of stuff, right? Number one, it's highlighting the fact that America has never been a democracy or a democratic republic like they like for the people to believe. But instead, it's actually a corporation. And we brought that out many, many times, right? Going all the way back to, I believe, 1871, America became a corporation, all right? So within a corporation, right, you have an administration, okay? You have different members of that body, okay? And hence, you have your agencies, okay? You have a president, right? The president of the corporation. Okay, but Americans have been deceived to believe in this illusion of choice, right? You have the two political parties that help maintain the control over the masses as a whole, okay? And those two so-called political parties are there and designed to be not only a control mechanism / method, but also to keep the division among the people alive. Okay, because when you go to vote, you're either voting Democrat or Republican. You're Republican. You're not really going outside of those two parties, right? So they've created these things. They've made people believe in something known as the American dream, which again never existed, right? That if you work so hard, right, eventually you could make something out of yourself and create a different life and so on and so forth. But the part that they didn't say to you, which a lot of people are finding out, is that the whole game has been rigged. Okay? It's been rigged, and no matter how hard you work, you're never going to climb out of this rigged system. Okay? And the system means pit. Okay? So as we're seeing the decline of the system, right, we're seeing people waking up within the system. We're seeing a lot of the so-called inmates, all right, who are in the system, who are in the prison cell, all right. They're climbing up, and they're going over the walls of the prison, and they could see the outside world, and they're wondering, like, what the hell? See, that's the truth. The truth is beyond the walls. See, so now because of the influence of the prophets of the Lord, who are always going to be beyond the walls, because we're the watchmen. Okay, we're the ones telling the people who are within those walls what's actually going on outside those walls. That they're actually in a prison, but see, they don't see it that way because they've never experienced life outside of those walls. And that's the typical American for you, right? They believe the propaganda. They go to school thinking that they're going to learn something, which school from kindergarten all the way to college is nothing but a playground to create mindless workers, okay, consumers, so to speak. They don't want you. They don't want people thinking, critically thinking, right? They just want you to be there enough to work. Okay, you're just there to work. You're just there to prop the system up. Okay, and that's all it is. And then they bombard you with a whole lot of so-called entertainment and all these different things. But again, the point is, America is a corporation. And within that corporation, you have a mental asylum, a playground. You got all kinds of different things. All right. Food is processed, right? Highly processed. They got all kinds of different ingredients, which are all poisons. You see, these people are morbidly obese. Okay. The food is poisoned. The water is poisoned. The air we breathe is poisoned. The clothing we wear is poisoned. Right. Apparently, they got all this nano things in the clothing that it goes right through your pores into your skin and into your stream. All right. It's cool. You've seen a surge of all these diseases like cancer and all these different diseases that are attacking young people now. Not just like a thing where it's like you get old and no. Right. So it makes you wonder, like, damn, like what you see, again, America is showing you the signs that she is at her end. And they're doing everything in their power. The economy is about to collapse. Okay, you've seen gold rising up like crazy. That's a sign that this place is about to be out of here, man. The economy collapses. It goes out. They come up with an explanation. They prolong it for a while because it's a crisis. And it's going to be a major, major crisis. And I could see the MOTB coming out mandatorily through that major crisis that's coming next. Because if CV was able to get us from a world where people were just living life normal to now where you life is pretty much a digital, it lived on a digital platform, right? Everything is digital now, and the field that I'm in now, they're telling us that eventually they're going to go from, how you have people who use cable boxes and so on and so forth. Now everything is shifting over to streaming, meaning everyone is going to be online. You want to get a dose of your entertainment. Well, you're no longer going to be using a cable box. You're going to be streaming via Wi-Fi and so on and so forth. I mean, it's a huge change that's happening around the world. And it's all part of the conditioning, the causes, the poeo. See? So that major crisis that comes in, it's going to be something, man. And it's all part of the end. The end. Okay? So anyway, going back to the article, it says, speaking. Oh, hold on. There you go. Speaking anonymously to Defense One, the official clarified the Pentagon's new direction, stating, "We're not going to be." I think I read this already. Oh shit, Zalaki. I read this a long time ago. All right, we're down to the official emphasized that the current administration prioritizes weapon systems and business systems over nebulous technologies, a stance that aligns with a broader push to streamline military acquisitions. Okay? And the so-called military industrial complex, right? I believe it was, who said that? Was it Hoover? No, it wasn't Hoover. Edgar Hoover? Damn. I'm forgetting the name of the president who came up with that, but he made sure to say that Americans should be very careful about this creation of, the Department of Defense and DARPA and the Pentagon and so on and so forth. Basically, the military industrial complex. Okay? And that's what America runs on. How do you know that? When you look at the budget spending, a lot of it, I'll say 2/3, if not definitely more than half of the total budget that's been spending, it goes straight to the military. Right? Now, why is that? That's the question. Why is that? So continuing, it says, the Washington Post in 2021, in a 2021 piece, the Washington Post in a 2021 piece exploring the Pentagon's growing reliance on AI foreshadowed this trend, noting that the U.S. military has long been integrating artificial intelligence into its strategy to maintain global dominance. You hear that? That's what it's about. It's all about complete and utter dominance and control over the globe, over the world. Okay? And in order for them to do that, they have to depopulate the earth. to a degree where it's small enough for them to manage and control. Okay? It says, however, the recent comments mark a more explicit commitment to machines capable of independently selecting and engaging targets. That's going to be a problem. The New York Times, in a November 2023 article on a global race for AI-driven warfare, reported that the U.S., alongside nations like China, is advancing technologies that could soon make such killer robots a battlefield reality, despite resistance from some countries advocating for legal limits at the United Nations, right? But those countries are not going to be heard, okay, because there's way too much money in this development of AI and all this technology that the United Nations is not going to want to hear nobody's plea, okay? They're part of the ushering in of the MOTB system anyway, okay? And that's the Vatican I'm talking about, that false prophet. Anyway, let me see something here. I think I missed my... Right, so going back to the point with the United Nations, right, they're part of the ushering in of the MOTB system. Okay, and I mentioned the Vatican. Okay, you've seen what's going on with the Pope nowadays and stuff like that, because they're about to shift and transition into another person who's going to be worse than this guy. That's how it always works, you know. But the United Nations, the Vatican, the City of London, all these different entities, right, the Pentagon, they all play a role in bringing in this so-called New World Order. Okay. It says this shift isn't just rhetorical. According to Futurism and Yahoo News, a second Pentagon official outlined a new business model designed to offload research costs onto the private sector. He says, quote, "We're trying to change a business model from the government pays $100 million for research and builds a prototype to more of us paying a couple $1 million and industry pays $98 million and then they build a prototype," the official explained. Okay, so everything is going to fall back on these technocratic corporations, right? And why do you think that is? Because you got guys like Elon Musk and guys like Larry Ellison and guys like Sam Altman. These are not names you want to be allowing in any form of governmental influential role, right? Because their mindset as businessmen is to forward their businesses and make it as global and as powerful as possible. See, so once you align yourself with these kinds of people in a form of governmental position, you have a huge problem there. Okay, you have a huge problem because eventually these technocrats become more powerful than the government itself. And then you're going to find out that the government works for these technocrats. Okay? Where somebody, decides that they don't want to comply with the new system, they set out these killer robots and all kinds of different shit after this person. Okay? And they broadcast it everywhere so everybody could see what's going to happen to anyone who decides that they want to, go against the grain, so to speak. All right, so examples will be made. All right. Anyway, it says, but the point is, these technocrats are setting themselves up to be the next rulers of this earth. Like Klaus Schwab said, with the age of AI, anybody who's able to basically have control over it, they're going to be the gods of the earth. They're going to be the rulers of the earth. No more do you worry about presidents and stuff like that. That's why Trump said, the Christians should vote. In 4 years, it's going to be fixed. They're not going to have to vote no more. What did he mean by that? It's going to be a whole new system where voting does not play a role in anything in terms of decision making. It's already done for you. You just follow it, and that's it. Okay. It says this approach, aimed at accelerating the delivery of advanced weaponry, reflects a pragmatic urgency to outpace adversaries, a sentiment echoed in the 2023 Forbes report on the Pentagon's updated autonomy directives, which hinted at a willingness to loosen constraints on AI weapon development. And I believe Trump already did that, right? He basically rescinded what Biden did as a sign, or as a form of having some form of control and limits to this AI power. But that if you sign off on that, you're basically saying that, hey, AI could develop and turn into something else out of our control, and we don't care. That's his point. Okay. There's a book of 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 5. It says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? It says, the mighty Lord Yahweh sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Okay, so yeah, man, the sword is part of the plagues. Okay, and let's get that real quick. Okay, when the Lord said He's not going to spare, you should be ready. This is the book of Psalm chapter 17 and verse 13. It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, so ultimately Esau as a race or a nation of people are the Lord's weapon. That's why everywhere they go and everything they do has to do with some form of killing or violence or deception. Somebody loses a life somewhere, somehow, right? And then once they leave it in a state of complete and utter ruins and chaos and basically destruction. And that's what that's one of his titles, the son of perdition. Okay, so Esau is like the scripture says, the wicked, which is the Lord's sword. Okay, so the sword as a nation, they are the sword, and hence they create more weapons that will result in the same thing as a sword will, which is to kill. Okay, to go to war and to kill. Let me see. Yep, I think that should be it on that. So they're creating all these weapons, whether it's the Vanessa, that's a form of a sword, right? It's a killing instrument. It really is. When you actually go into the whole concept of the mRNA stuff, there was a lady who was exposing it. She said it was created by the military. Okay, at least the Pentagon and their tests and so on and so forth. They create these things. It was a military thing because it was made as a weapon of war against the people. Okay, rather than going guns blazing and fighting, no, let's do it this way. And that's what they did. And there's going to be more to come, right? There's going to be more to come. But then they also have the ability to create weapons like this, autonomous weapons, killer robots, and so on and so forth. All right, so it's like it. So we're living in some dangerous times, as the scripture says, and evil and only evil has come. It's like it. And that's why we pray, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, keep us in these times that we're entering into. Okay? But the biggest test is going to be when the MOTB is officially made mandatory upon the face of the earth. Okay? And we can't wait for that. I was thinking about it today, just meditating in my mind. And I was like, damn, man, Lord, these people have no idea. You see people and the way they move, they have no idea what's going on. And I'm like, damn, Lord, I can't wait. I can't wait to see these people in a squeeze. Like, look at how a slight inconvenience, look how these people react. So what's going to happen when this whole system collapses? Like, this is going to be crazy. Like elevators not working, ain't no food. People rely on the system. They that ass rely on the system. These people can't create anything else outside of the system. And that's all they've known. When you look at the generations right now they're on this earth, that experiment has reached its zenith, and they got to pull that trigger. Okay, getting people to be so subversed to the point where you show them the truth and they can't even see it. That's that's a victim ripe for the cooking. Okay, and there's going to be millions of people about to get victimized by their own governments and so on and so forth, man. All right, it's going to be sad, but it's going to be beautiful at the same time, because you're just going to see America and the Americans and America just crumble, just coming down, just like that. You know, you already got people now, they're losing confidence in so-called Trump. And just about a month or two ago, everybody was on that Trump bandwagon. You know, oh, Trump, niggas for Trump 2024, da 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 da. Where they at now? Seems like the whole entire system is quiet. Meanwhile, things are going on in the background. See? So the setup is definitely building up, man. You got these banks, everybody switching everything to digital. Things are about to start cooking soon. Okay? It's going to pick up. The month of March is coming. You're going to start hearing about these cases and different diseases and all kinds of different shit that's going to be popping up. Bird flu and that. It's going to pop up. Inflation, they're going to start highlighting these things. I think the month of March is the month where they start highlighting a lot of things. And then come May, they might just say, hey, the system is down. We're coming in with our new system. May Day, Illuminati birthday. From 1776 all the way to 2025. Shit. That's a nice enough, long enough time for them to establish their so-called Novus Ordo Seclorum. Okay? So we'll see, man. We'll see how this thing plays out. You know, and we're going to be watching. We're going to be watching to see what these devils going to come up with and how they're going to explain away this new crisis that they're going to create. We're going to see it. All right? But yeah, I just wanted to bring this out, highlight what Esau is working on, you know, at the moment. Right? They got this autonomous weapons, you know, which they do have, but now they just want to let the people know before they start bringing it out. So that way you're not surprised. Oh, what the hell is this? No, we told you that we're working on this, right? And when we told you, you ain't say nothing and you ain't do nothing. So that's, you're consenting to it. So just so you know, right? So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm gonna leave it off here. Lord willing, you were edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.